and rain.
Sender of sunshine and love.
Sender of sunshine and love.
Keeper of time and of promise.
Keeper of time and of promise.
Helper of hearts that are
Helper of hearts that are blue. Maker of raindrops and roses. Oh, please make my dreams all come true. Maker of raindrops and roses. Lighter of candles above. Maker of blue skies and rainbows.
May I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
All right, let me just bring myself up here. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the 74th edition of the Community Pulse. We have another fantastic show lined up for you all. We have our featured co-hosts, Folk Punk, which with our featured artist being Johnny Amish, accompanied by his brother Isaiah. This is going to be a great show. Actually, just found out that they were both from Canada. Yes. All right. So we've got some Canadian artists from the beautiful land of British Columbia coming up. A special shout out. That opening track. What a classic. You know, this week was, I celebrated my dad's 2 years gone. And it was really nice. And I was trying to work on, I just couldn't get it right, the recording. I was trying to record a track with me playing the song that I wrote from. Anyways, and then I was thinking of Hetriani and his loss, and having to put his father down a few weeks ago. Along came this song, and everything happens for a reason. It's like I just put everything down. It's like, what am I trying for? This is just absolutely beautiful. Jim Wesley is the son, the father of Nigel Wesley. We all know Nigel as Wesley Media Hub. He wrote that song back in 1965, and it was performed by Margie Rayburn. I do want a few things I want to add here. His father wrote over 100 songs back in the day, released by various country and gospel artists worldwide. in a career that spanned over 17 years. In 2004, his dad was inducted into the Australian Country Music Hall of Fame for his songwriting and his handprint and signature set in concrete in the Australian country music. So it's some beautiful things. If you can, Nigel, if you please can post, you're okay if you can post any of these links that you want to post. I was talking backstage and I forgot to give these to DJ Big Red. But please go follow that that link for this song. And yes, thank you very much, Nigel, for allowing us to open the show with this. All right, so like I said, we have a fantastic show lined up for you. As always, we start off the show with the 7 artists that I'd like to shout out before the show begins. And that's Jade Starr with her live interviews, Thursdays at 6 p.m. Jade, you'll find her daily, throughout the week, putting up something around that time. Metalhead Hippie, we shout out Metalhead Hippie, although he's not, he doesn't have his show running up right now. He'll still pop up with random hangouts. I think it's important to continue to shout out Metalhead Hippie because this is a show of gratitude and given respect to these channels that help most of our channels grow. Like Folk Punk himself came through Metalhead Hippie channel. I came through Pete Johns. Many of you came through Thomas Christ. It doesn't matter. And Laurie's Mishmosh or Chad. It doesn't really matter, but these are the channels that are continuing to push our channels and help us grow. Chad Freeman, Ham Sunday on Tuesdays. We were talking about Chad backstage. Chad is taking some time off. No illness, nothing, just wanted to take some time off away from YouTube. Francis and Ian, the replay every other Sunday at 8 p.m. You'll see them next week. Francis and Ian, I think, are the OGs. I think this show was up in 2019, and we all know that COVID opened the floodgates for many of us to come on to YouTube. So please go check out Francis and Ian. Thomas Christ, as I mentioned, we were talking with Johnny backstage. He's going to be submitting some songs to Thomas Christ show on the U-Rock every Wednesday at 7 p.m. It's a simple process. Follow the link. There's a little form, just a couple questions so he knows what order. And hit submit. Your song will be played Wednesday. Now, with Thomas Christ, if it's a premiere or you'd like to make it a premiere, you're guaranteed to have it played right at the beginning of the show. He starts off his shows with the premiere. And Niels Han Dynasty. What a fantastic channel. I really enjoyed what you put up last week. I think it was on Monday. Very informative. Pete Johns, every Sunday at 7 p.m. Your Music Live. That's where I came into this community. I got to meet these amazing, all you amazing people. Pete Johns, a lot of them consider Pete Johns the godfather, the gateway into these communities. Same deal. It's a Sunday at 7 p.m. Fill out the form, hit submit. Your music will be played. And then we have Laurie's Mishmosh. Oh, Laurie. We all love Laurie. Laurie's an amazing person. Actually, it seems like every conversation we have backstage, it always starts off, is Laurie coming back here? Yeah, we're talking with Johnny. And I guess like many, Johnny is often at Laurie's show. But like many people, just because they're not in the chat, know that they are there. Laurie has an amazing show. She is the glue of our communities. Please check out the Friday Night Hang every Friday at midnight, and she will steer you in the right direction right after her show. So, all right. Ugh, that's a lot of talking already. Feature channel. I was approached, and JJ and I are working on something because we have a lot of amazing artists out of the UK and the rest of Europe, and it's hard for them to come on this show. I would have loved to have Bart Blue on this show, and maybe in the future down the road, when there's a holiday set up like we did with Catherine a few weeks ago, we can plan well in advance. But I really want to introduce this artist, Bart Blue. I created a little montage. It's live on my channel now, but you're gonna see it here. A friend of Johnny Amish, our artist as well. Bart writes, a celebration of life and song. My music is heavily influenced by the 80s pop and new wave scenes. You'll find a lot of keyboard synths, originals, and covers here. Music is my passion, and I hope it shows in what I post on this channel. I'm always working to improve myself. And he's got 159 videos posted on his channel, and he's at 949 subs. So why do I have feedback? 949 subs, and I'm quite certain within the next couple of weeks we're going to be shouting out his channel to celebrate 1,000. So please go offer up some support and check this out. Rock on, Bart Blue. Great to meet you.
Everybody wants to find their place in this world. Everybody wants to matter. Everybody needs to have their moment to shine before the illusion shatters. Everybody needs to have somebody to love. Everybody needs to be loved. Everybody's trying to make the best of this life, but it's hard. When you're all alone and you need someone, just look at the moon and I'll be there looking at you. Just stand amongst the stars, professor of rock. All the drums and the guitars, they kept you going on your path to destiny. Professor of let it go. You make me crawl to you. Every night you put me to the test. When you smiled up at me and you asked me my name, I knew that you felt the same. We felt the heat from the flame. Love, keep up with me, baby, please. Get up on me and maybe we
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Please, please, please follow Bart. He's already got, I think, 3 new songs since I've created that montage. Brilliant artist, quite diverse. Yes. And as Bird, I think, said, tight mixing. Really amazing talent. Thank you, D. Lynn. Single-handedly is responsible for introducing us to these beautiful artists. We love you, D. And we got to get you back up when you're ready. All right, let's bring on folk punk. My partner in crime, add to stage, and there we go. There we are. Oh, fuck. What? No. You take a page out of Laurie's book? What is that?
Oh, you said partners in crime. That looked like a good crime partner picture.
That was just taken over the weekend. It's like, yeah.
That was the last time that shirt had sleeves.
You move out of the way. Yeah, I know. She cut it. There you go. That's a folk punk. My folk punk shirt. Shauna got her hands on it and cut the sleeves off, and
It's
now
now
it's her
Shauna's folk punk
workout
shirt.
So, yeah.
Mainly because Frank got busted smoking. So.
Yeah, she caught me with a cigarette in my mouth, and I went to throw it out. She goes, "You might as well, continue smoking it." Yeah. All right. Very cool. So, how are things going, brother?
Pretty good. You know, this is going to be excellent tonight. You know, you're right. There is a theme that is running throughout the show that wasn't consciously put there, but family is tying in so many ways, from the opening track there from Wesley's Media Group, and you know, our co-host selection tonight is one of your songs, which you never like to have on the show, but honoring your Aunt Rose. You know, we have to respect our elders, who wants to hear Frank songs on the show. I've requested a Frank show for that. And then, you know, our guest tonight bringing on his brother with him. So, yeah, we have a really neat tie-in of family, and kind of an extended family, which Community is. I don't know if you were going to talk about this at another point, but Phoenix?
Yes. Yeah, I was going to leave it with you. Yeah, go ahead.
That was so cool. Yeah, Phoenix Falling does a segment of a radio show. The segment is called The Underground Signal. It's part of a 3-hour long show called Passing Genres. And it actually is here about 40 minutes away from me in Wisconsin. Small world, another theme of tonight, of all these tie-ins and things. And anyways, he devoted his half-hour segment, a good portion of it, to what's going on in the indie music community on YouTube. And he actually did a little bit where he talked about Pete Johns and The Pulse and You Rock, and had some kind of song that tied into it. And Pete Johns had a little kind of voiceover at the beginning of one of his songs, and we had a Change the World version. And then I think it was Invincible from Thomas got played. So yeah, you know, who knows with radio nowadays, and this is a very small station. I'm 40 minutes away and I couldn't pick it up on my radio in my house. I had to listen through the streaming on the browser. But it's just kind of cool to have all this stuff on terrestrial radio as well as the internet. So
yeah, no, it's amazing. And last week I had a little segment on the radio, Vancouver Co-op Radio. What is it? 100.5?
Yeah.
CFRO. Yeah.
You know, that's so weird because the channel that had the underground signal, WLCB, is also 101.5.
Oh, and this was 100. Very cool.
But yeah, so it's going to be a cool show. And like you said, it's a family oriented, not necessarily
and
all
the
segment.
song that you chose To my dismay, the came from a family show. It was the Brad Examples after party.
Yeah,
which featured who was it? You, me, Leela, Mr. Smith, Brad, and Folk and Blueser.
Yep.
It was a fantastic show. So, yes, JJ is threatened by my aunt. And
no, I'm trying to respect the elders. You know, the elders say to do something, you do it.
No, you're threatened. She's an Agnello. She got you. All right. Let's play the song and carry on with the show. Thank you, JJ.
Now it's we're gonna hear from Mr. Frank Terzo, one of my favorites. Here we go, buddies.
Wonderful. Thanks, Brad, for having me here.
Oh, hold on. How do I do it? Where did the button go? There it is, over here.
What happened to those 3 little dots?
Yeah, they went up there on a different spot. There we go. All right, buddy, give her.
Great to be here. Thank you, brother. First mistake is when I packed my bags. Thought I seen a greener passage. Years of searching for that promised land. Smoky taverns and those one-night stands. Playing music till the sun comes up. I was trapped in my own storm. All alone in a broken world. It seems to be my home. Looking back, I wish I had a called to tell you how I feel. Now I'm lost and I've nowhere to go. Can I come back home? Always one foot in and one foot out. Never finish what I started. Whiskey and I'm out of mind. Still I'm searching but I'm losing time. Playing music till the sun comes up. Strapped in my own storm. All alone in a broken world. Seems to be my home. Looking back, I wish I had a call to tell you how I feel. Now I'm lost and I've nowhere to go. Come back home. You're the center of my universe, the whistling bird at sunrise. You're the reasons for the songs I write and play. Playing music till the sun comes up. It's trapped in my own storm. All alone in a broken world. It seems to be my back home. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Let's bring us back up. And we're good.
Now, to the audience, I love that version. And when I suggested it to Frank, he was like, "Oh, no." I'm like, that's a great version. It's amazing how, especially live performances, we can have such a different impression ourselves, than the listener. That was beautiful. Not only did it fit perfectly with, tonight, home, family, community, perfect tie into the unwritten theme of the night, and great live performance, and that whole concept of Brad's after party. And Leela had done one virtual campfire about a year
she
before
started
that.
this.
Yeah. And what I really, really like about it is that a Pastor Mike. I used to get together before the pandemic with some friends, and we would sit in the living room, and we would sit around one mic, and we would position the mic in front of one person at a time, but we would all play just by watching the fretboard and they would be simple songs, but they would be ones we didn't necessarily know. And we would, like a songwriter circle, and then we would pass the mic. So once when Lance was inviting me up, he sent an iPhone message, and it self-corrected to a Pastor Mike. So now they're referred to as Pastor Mike sessions. But anyways, no, that was so cool how we would play one, someone else would play, and we would do 3 songs, but rather than doing 3 songs in a row, we separated them out, and that was really cool. That was such an awesome show. The After Party, number 10.
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, and please go follow up Brad's channel. Another brilliant acoustic guitarist, singer-songwriter. Yes. All right. So let's bring on the stars of the show. Hello, Mary. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for coming out. This chat's moving tonight, and we've got a few new faces here. Great to see you all. Let's bring on our featured artist, Johnny Amish, and who brought along his brother, and I'm glad he did. We had a real cool conversation in the back, and you're all going to love these two talents. Isaiah, let's bring him on. Let me move this. All right. At the stage. Let's get this set up like so. All right. Oh,
Unmute
your guest. Be nice.
It's a tradition.
Gentlemen.
Evening, guys.
Hello. Thank you for having us on.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you guys for coming very much. And we kind of know you a little bit because we heard about you a few weeks ago when we had Catherine and Tom on. And so you kind of are part in our mind of that little solar system of those guys. And it was funny because we were saying before with Isaiah, I remember when Dark Flame, I'm like, where have I heard that before? It was in Catherine's descriptions where she would always shout out the people that, had helped her with something or supported her. And so, yeah, there we go. That community, that family theme of the night that's developed.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. And I thank you both for accepting the invitation. And there's no way I was going to wait any longer to get you on, because it seemed like everybody, everywhere I looked with this these artists that D. Lynn had introduced me to, everybody's playing one of your songs or you're playing somebody else's, and it's like, oh shit, man, this is really, really cool.
That's a really incredible thing. Like, to hear somebody else sing your music is always so astonishing, like like to hear anyone sing it really, but then to hear like some of the artists in this community are so gifted, so incredibly gifted, and their music, and you know the time that it takes to take a song and to learn a song and to bring it, you know, and to play it with your heart, not just with your hands and sing it. And to hear that is just like every time it's very emotional for me, you know, like it's really, really beautiful. And I love covering other people's musics too, you know, like it means so much more than just doing a cover of a popular artist, as great as that is. But
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think there's no greater honor. You know, somebody listening to your song is one thing, but somebody taking it and doing something a little different with it, something that maybe you imagined but couldn't actually do, and then they
yeah,
do it. It's like, ah, yes.
just they hear something in it, they necessarily, even something you put in there, something you didn't even know was in there, like you said, like that is crazy to me, you know, like it really, it blows me away every time. So
And we have a song coming up where Isaiah is singing your song,
yes.
and we'll have to ask if there was that kind of a thing that he found in that song
Oh yeah.
compared to. So yeah, remind me of that that point when we get there. But yeah, it's so cool. And you guys were saying earlier that you, not only because she's probably watching, but you owe a lot of your creativity to your mom. You came from a creative upbringing.
Absolutely. Yeah, and mom has always been creative, everything that she's done. She also plays music. She plays the mandolin. She got a degree in bluegrass actually recently in Tennessee, where they
Oh,
Wow,
live.
wow.
So yeah,
very cool.
she plays the mandolin very beautifully. But she was always playing music growing up, the mandolin and the keyboard, and encouraged us both, I believe. Where she made sure all of us, there's six of us kids, and made sure all of us like took piano when we were young. Like I think I started when I was 6. I don't remember as how old you were around
About the
then.
same, yeah.
Yeah, and just to get the theory in, you know, because as soon as I got a guitar, I didn't know to stop playing piano. You know, as you know, the guitar is a lot cooler for a 13-year-old kid than a piano is, but having the base of that theory is really huge, because at least you understand some of what you're looking at. And our mom's also like a brilliant artist, like a portrait artist, and yeah, she's very creative, always has been. It's been a huge influence on us, of course.
She's really all about the creative act as a lifestyle, like at bringing creativity into every sort of element of your life.
And you know, that's the hope, I think, as a parent, when you try to involve your child in something creative. It's not just so that, oh, they're going to be a guitar player when they grow up or something. It's so they have that worldview that's a creative aspect, and you can be pessimistic, optimistic, or creative. You know, so yeah, excellent. That's awesome. um why don't we get a few shout outs so that we can get right into the music that we have here.
See, that's why I love having JJ on. He tells me what to do. It's going to be a constant theme throughout the show. All right. Yes. As we all know, uh, my team and I, with Laurie, DJ, and the mods, between the sharing and letting us know with new premieres and everything, we create this Community Pulse playlist and all these shout outs. I wish we could shout them all out, but again, the playlist is going to be well over 100 premieres and stuff, events that have been going on throughout our communities. And we start off with shouting out the Community Pulse 74th edition playlist. It is now live, and believe me, if you don't get shouted out, there's a lot of people that are going to be watching on replay. You're going to be on that playlist, and I'm sure you got the notification as well. DJ Big Red has got this community calendar to all the new artists. If you'd like to be on the show, Mr. Tremor Bear, what's going on? Nope. T. Penner, great to see you. Sorry, I can't read from this far. All right. If you have something coming up, premiere or something like that, or you'd like to be on the show, my email, you can reach DJ Big Red. You'll find my email on my YouTube channel. Yeah, give us a shout. DJ Big Red has the community calendar. He'll post your channel and start to promote it and stuff. So please send him an email. You can reach him just as easy as you can reach me. Turtle Drum had a great release. No one can tell her. Bart Blue, which is our feature channel, and know that the feature channel link will be posted at the top of the chat throughout the remainder of the show. As I mentioned, I think Bart had a couple, 2 or 3 new tracks since I created that montage. And this one is called Moments. D. Lynn, Taking It Easy, Lacey J. Dalton cover. The Lily Pillies had a great release called Take Me Home premiere, called Take Me Home. Michael, a.k.a. Canadian, Zealand, Nothing Makes Sense Anymore. Metalhead Hippie, Alaskan Store Run, right after the show. Was it after the show? Yeah, right after the show. He went out for a little run. It was pretty cool. On his, am I allowed to call it Doom Buggy, or am I aging myself? I'm sure to say. Oh, JJ's laughing. Okay, not Doom Buggy. Four. I don't know what it's called. Ed Pettit, another brilliant artist that is going to be on the show soon. We're just, I think we've already arranged a date. Yeah, I'm old. All right, my friend Mary from Italy. Ciao, Bella. Great to see you here. And Ahmad here. Be the One. Dua Lipa cover. Very amazing stuff there. Robbie Stingle. Adam Holtz had a couple of premieres. Catherine McChrystal with Speed of the Sound of Loneliness. John Prime cover. Johanna Lynn, Invocation. Yelzveta. Learn. Actually, this is really cool what they've done here. They have, again, you know how this, such as yours, there are a lot of little pockets of communities. What they've done is they challenged themselves to all play one of their songs live, and then they're going to make a little, it's pretty cool. Please follow that link. JJ, it might be something you'd be interested in as well. Adorable Anarchy has a great show called Smugcast. I caught a bit of this one, not a bit of it, actually. I worked, was doing some paperwork at the office, and I was listening to it. It was pretty cool. A lot of fun stuff and topics. I love the way they attack each other. It's a lot of fun. Sonic Race, Source of Joy and Peace. Brian Drums, Gangsta Paradise. Tremor Bear was a busy man this week, and Tremor's going to be on the show next week with KVK. Tremor Bear and Wolfstone Studios came out with a brilliant track called Our Marathon. And Nura Guitar. If you're a beginner guitarist or you want to pick up a different instrument, that's a great channel to go check out. I've recommended it to quite a few people. It's got strum patterns, the lyrics, to some really cool tracks, and why go anywhere else? Support ourselves, you know what I mean? I'm sure you can go, I can't remember, guitar something, but go to his channel. I'm sure you'll find the song you're looking for. It's got the lyrics, the chords, he plays them for you. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there. Mr. Smith, what's going on, brother? The drummer for Ninth Gate. All right.
There's so many new things that come out every week. It's just amazing, and we only know of a little sector of the galaxy. You know, it's amazing.
I know.
I love that you're having Ed on the show. Ed is awesome.
Big fan of Ed.
Yeah, so such a great artist, but also like super perceptive and very like community oriented, and yeah, great guy.
Excellent.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
was telling JJ there seems to be a trend. It's like everybody, I want JJ. I want JJ.
I feel like a stream hog, but
No,
I'm
you're
always I'm
our
always
show.
willing to help.
We
I'm always-
created this show together. That's okay. It's
We-
okay to have.
we are just little moons reflecting the light of the stars around us. So.
That's great. It's the enthusiasm, really. You know, you mentioned Brian, drummer Brian, and like nobody's more enthusiastic in a comment than Brian. You know, he like always makes you feel like you're, you know, you're the best, and like you're just like brightens your day every time, and that's the kind of stuff that to me is so important, because we're not here for somebody to tell us, you missed a note or something like that. I'm not here for that. I'm here to get better, but also here to have the community and to support other people as well. So
yeah, and I mean, there are places you can go to learn how to do things better and see. And we're about highlighting and celebrating just for the fact that people are creating. It's like we were saying, it's a way of viewing the world: pessimistic, optimistic, or creative. So we're taking the creative. And it's interesting that the first song we have from you tonight, Johnny, and you do a lot of covers and originals. We're sharing some of your originals tonight. And the first song I listened to, and I had a whole bunch of comments prepared thinking, oh yeah, this will kind of be a common approach he has in his songwriting. And I'm glad we talked yesterday and I listened to the others because, I have a different tack now after we hear it. But it definitely is not an empty road that we're going to go down tonight. So that was supposed to be a cue.
That's a cue. Yes, I'm doing my job. I'm on it.
Dancing down an empty road.
There you go.
Is it wasted now? Your thoughts unwound somehow across the shadowed lands to a place where forever stands. There's no time to get old when you're dancing down an empty road. Got both feet pointed straight at the night underneath those burning clouds of twilight. Believe wherever you go, there'll be enough music to feed your soul. And even though I know you're not coming back, I say I'll see you again. What have we wasted here? The silence of our fear, frozen morning light on the day we learned to fight. There's no time to get old when you're dancing down an empty road. Got both feet pointed straight at the night underneath those burning clouds of twilight. Believe wherever you go, there'll be enough music to feed your soul. And even though I know you're not coming back, I say I'll see you again. There's no time to get old when you're dancing down an empty road. Got both feet pointed straight at the night underneath those burning clouds of twilight. Believe wherever you go, there'll be enough music to feed your soul. And even though I know you're not coming back, say I'll see you again. I'll see you again.
Wow.
back up and unmute. Everybody's unmuted. Good. We're good.
So, Frank,
Yes.
you know, when Prodigy was on,
Yep.
and he talked about that word, frisian,
Yep.
that visceral effect you get, like goosebumps when you hear music. That song right there, I got the same chill that Live to Fly's stuff. We've
Yeah.
talked about David's stuff.
Yeah.
That and I just realized as I was listening to this, I hear the sibling similarity in the voice. I heard Isaiah's voice in that. Or maybe it's, since you're older, I hear Johnny in Isaiah. But when we hear another song a little later, watch or listen. And yeah, I caught a bit in that. Wow. You know, beautiful in its minimalism, just one guitar, one voice, and still there's enough music to feed the soul, just with one voice and one guitar. Beautiful.
Yeah. And I want a special thanks to Pete Johns, who brought everybody over from his show over to here. I can tell. Great to see you, Joe and Barry Glenn. Two more Canadians. And Joe and Barry, these two are from BC. And please, to everybody out there, Birdfinger, and maybe some of you have already, Ed, Tom Penner, Harriet, both of you, please share your music. I mean, just the reaction you got from this. All of you, please submit to Pete Johns and Thomas Christ. This is how all our channels grew and just blew up. And it's not just that. It's not about the subs. It's a platform where you can really get to share your art, the gift that we have. And people are actually listening, you know. So that's... I don't get paid. This isn't a paid commercial. They're not going to give me shit.
I apologize to the chat who's listening. I'm terrible. I am not as good as Laurie. I can't type into the chat while I'm on panel. So hello, everyone in the chat. I apologize that I haven't said hi to everyone. So we had talked, Johnny, and you might get a kick out of this, Isaiah. So when I first heard this, it was a melancholy, so heartfelt that it almost became positive. You know, even though I know you're not coming back, I'll see you again. And I thought, oh my God, finding something good in every situation. It's almost Pollyannish. I think, oh, Polyamish. But then I listened to his other songs he submitted. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. No, this is an outlier.
And like I said, that was part of the reason why I put it there too. It seemed to also really strike a chord with a lot of people. Like, it was one of the first songs that I heard covered. So I had maybe one cover at the point, and this lovely, I believe also Canadian named Gaston, subbed to me one day, and within a few hours of subbing to me, he sent me a message and said, "Hey, do you mind if I cover this song?" And I was like, I'd listened to some of the stuff. He's a wonderful voice, and I was like, sure. And 2 hours later, this cover of that song is up, and this like. Incredible. Like I literally I was weeping, you know, listening to this. Like, because that song is about like letting go of yourself, trying to move forward from trauma, you know, like and heal and releasing part of yourself to go off, and to have a stranger, a complete stranger hear it and echo it back in that way was so powerful to me. And then since Harriet Barbier also covered it beautifully, and it's really it's I get a bit emotional just thinking about it. Like, it's a really beautiful piece of the community to have that come back to me. So that's probably why I picked it too. The positivity of it, which is, like you said, a bit of an outlier, but then also the way that it seemed to touch a chord and the way that it came back to me was really, really wonderful.
And I think, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's become kind of an iconic song around our house over here. I find myself singing it around the house. There's something kind of timeless about that melody, and I notice that more every time I see someone cover it. We the two of us have done a version too.
Yes, Isaiah sang it as well. Yeah.
Oh, now did you guys sing harmony on it? Because there's nothing like sibling. Oh, I would love to hear you guys sing it together.
We have, I think, 2 videos up, maybe 3 where we sing harmony. We haven't done a ton of it. They were covers, mostly covers that we did. So we've worked a bit on it, but it's I'm little gun shy, if I'm being honest with you. I mean,
Oh, he's a professional.
He is a professional, and he's the kindest teacher ever. But that doesn't mean that I'm not still gonna.
Well, we've got something coming up. No, I won't. No spoilers. But we got something coming up where I think there might be some room for harmony. So, like very soon. Yeah.
Very cool. And he's the younger brother, so you know.
By this point, age doesn't mean anything else. He's also. You can never tell on here. He's also about like 4 inches taller than me. So if you see us together, you would never say, "Oh, John's the older brother." Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm the oldest of 4 and by far the shortest.
The shortest, yeah.
Yes. Totally. Well, we'll notice in your other songs that we have tonight that, Isaiah was mentioning that melodic hook. You have a knack for melodic hook, but you have a knack for lyrical hooks. There are lines that just... the last song that we have tonight, I can't get that image out of my head from that line. So, that even though I know you're not coming back, I'll see you again. There's enough music to feed the soul. Listen, folks, to these other songs. You're going to catch some lyrical gems in these pieces. So, Frank, some more shout outs?
Yes, sir. All right. So we'll continue with some shout outs. Martin Kelly, Agree to Disagree, Johnny Amish, The Hawk. I think you had 2 since, 2 new songs you posted. I love this one, The Hawk. Really cool stuff. Badass Brutus guitar with Vern Kivimak. We know him as Vac-GTR. Really cool stuff. Music connects people. My friend from Italy, Andrea Amacucci. Hard techno. Michelle Fretz, British Columbia, Canadian. I told you I'd emphasize on Canadians.
We need to get a bell so you can ring a bell every time it's a Canadian.
Got a kazoo. All right. Gary Schaefer, The Pickin' Pilots, The Dream I Didn't Chase. Tony McGreal, Delicate, Darbase bass covers, Teardrops, Dynamite Throw, an amazing bass riffing episode 11. Don Mira came out with a really nice track this week, I Still Love You. Pausing Guitars, Changes, a Ozzy Osbourne cover. Canna's Guitar Room, really cool track. Rob Rainwater, Remember Me. KVK with Coils. Gary Pincus, Scarlet Begonias, the Grateful Dead cover. JJ would love that one. Ruth Loader and Angel, Amazing Grace, really cool stuff. Angela, not Angel, sorry. Dan Anderson, Between Light and Love. Poison Whales, Sorry About Me. Karen Munchen, and Thomas Marwadell, I Got You, Babe, Sonny and Cher cover. Really cool stuff. Georgia J, Burning Rubber, Gordium 85, CRT Glitch Racer, Sal Caruso, another amazing track, You Look Too Fast. And then Paula Benson. Here's a lady that can, if you don't smile after watching anything that Paula puts up, if you're having a bad day, I mean, just go to her channel. The first thing you see, click, and I'm telling you, you're gonna have that warmth. Nobody does it to me like she does. It's just beautiful. Love you, Paula. All right, I'll stop there.
Okay, now I'm worried. I think I saw something in the chat. Laurie has an AI image she made to show me.
I'm not a big AI fan.
I'm just wondering what kind of image she made to show me.
Oh no, it's of you.
I have no clue.
We'll probably see it when she comes up.
It'll be like
I
the
hope it's not a
backdrop.
penis.
Oh, it'll be a backdrop like I had of you as the criminal
Oh,
partner
no.
backdrop.
Oh no. We'll see. All right.
Oh,
On
so,
with the show. Mountain
I
Man, great to see you. Mountain Man's going to be on the show very soon. I suck with dates. I should just DJ writes them all down and then I delete them like as if I'm going to remember them.
hey, that's why you have an administrative assistant.
Yeah, but then I delete them. I look at them and
He
think,
still has
okay,
them.
I'll remember.
So, Johnny, the next track we have, I noticed, and then I went back and tried to look at your other ones. Are you a fellow no-pick user?
Yeah, I actually stopped using a pick about 20 years ago because, and it wasn't for any reason other than guitar strings are expensive. You break them all the time. So I would play and I would get excited. I was in a band when I was like 19, 20, and we would play, I remember specifically Strawberry Fields Forever. And then once it starts breaking down, it would really give her, and I'd always break the B or the G, and then I was like, all right, maybe if I start just playing with my fingers. So I started finger picking. And I was like, oh, wow, you can actually, you have a lot more control. And then I have picks. And every few months I'll pick one up and I'll be like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And I'll throw it away and I'll just start finger picking again.
I totally know what you mean. And the reason I noticed was because, when I do it, my index fingernail becomes the pick. And
yeah.
And I was watching and I said, oh, that looks familiar. And it allows you to do some things that, is it this song? There's a finger sweep thing you do. I think it might be the third song. But by having that, you're able to just kind of do a sweep down with it, and it sounds so sweet. But yes, okay, I've been watching. I'm like, oh, maybe it's a tiny pick, but no. Very
and
cool.
It's cool. Sometimes people will comment, "Oh, you used a pick on this one," like if I'm strumming, and then I'm like, "Well, actually, I appreciate that because it sounds, a pick's a lot stronger of a sound. You listen to someone like Tony Rice cross picking, right? And you're like, you can never do that with your fingers, no matter how good you do. But if somebody says that, it also makes you feel really good. Like it means you're playing harder.
Exactly. And I know there's a certain sound when I record sometimes that I kind of like, but then it's like when you're recording, you can't really play all out because you
can't really rock the same way.
Yeah. So that's the only time I'll touch a pick. But
I noticed that last night. I was watching one of your versions of Empty Jars that you had, the live version of it, and I kind of picked up on that too. But also like the cool stuff that you can do, even though you're strumming with just your fingers, is quite cool. So
yeah, I think it gives you a lot more ability to do things. Unless I've seen some people with picks that are like, they actually are picking and using their fingers at the same time. They're like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But our next song here from you is Jacob's Angel. Not as Amish as the first one.
You might say that, yeah.
Is there anything you want to tell us about this one?
So this one is more just about, and I think for me, a lot of my songs really are about like recovering from trauma. I know I mentioned it before, but and in trying to move forward in your life. And anyone who does that knows that it's not a linear progression. It's some days it's one step forward, two steps back, and so that's mentioned very early in this song. I actually kind of wrote this. I texted some of it to myself. I was out walking one day, and I walked up over this hill, and we live kind of close to the ocean, and the ocean opened up in front of me, and then just some of these words came into my head, and I was thinking about how we go back, like not necessarily physically, but in our own minds, we will often go back to the place, where we were before, and then you're trying to dig yourself out again, and it can be a rut. So that's kind of what this song is about, and a few other things too, and then some biblical imagery obviously thrown in just because it's in my head. So
you hear it enough, it gets in there.
Yeah.
Excellent. So Jacob's Angel.
All right.
We fumbled for the future, still carrying the past. Wrote songs about our leaving. Live lives of coming back. Beat a path down to the dark yard. No ships coming in. Clasped bloodied hands in prayer. For absolution of our sins. Remember when you told me we were gonna be okay. And all the ways you showed me how a human heart decays. How a human heart decays. I was waiting in the parking lot. Jacob's angel to arrive. But the seraph in the stairwell wouldn't let him come outside. Remember when you told me we were gonna be okay. Then all the ways you showed me how a human heart decays. How a human heart decays.
Man. How beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I love your strum pattern.
Yeah.
I'm right with you on it, and I love the fretboard view movies. You know, when I go and see somebody play live, I spend most of the show just staring at the fretboard.
Oh, me too. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I want to get a seat where I can see the fingers.
Exactly.
We went and saw Isaiah and I went and saw Madeline Perrault a few weeks ago. And I don't know how I'm familiar with her work, but she plays a Martin too, like a smaller body Martin. It's an 00 or a 000. And I know her music decently well, but I never realized how brilliant of a guitar player she is until you're there live and you're watching her fingers and watching her play. And I'm like, and she's a rhythm player like me, acoustic player, but whoa, like, and I was the same thing the whole time, just zeroed in on her fingers.
Yes. Yeah. And did you notice? Did she use a pick?
I don't think she does. I think she's finger picks mostly as well.
And even in the strum, because it was obvious in that video, there's a fluidity. I guess somebody can get that, but I can't, because I can't squeeze these fingers and get that wrist fluidity to get that strum pattern like you were doing there. When I'm holding a pick, it just doesn't, for me, it
There is
doesn't
a
work like.
question by Barry there.
It's
Is that a
a
Martin?
Martin. It's a Martin 00028.
28.
Yeah,
Very cool.
it's it was one of those buys where I found it used in a store. It's a 2015, I think, and as soon as I couldn't put it back down, I picked it up and I was like, well, I guess that I'm not. I guess I'm buying this guitar, whatever the price tag on it.
And how did that sound different than the other 9 guitars you already had?
You had to bring that up. You think I got in trouble with smoking in the shed?
It's a little inside joke.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I think you'll notice too with that song, if you know Radiohead, I think you can notice that I listened to a lot of Radiohead when I was like, that might, like very specific thing about my age, but like specifically the song How to Disappear Completely. And I didn't realize the influence until after when I was listening to it. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I mean, I listened to and played that song a lot back in the day. So
And it's like scripture. You hear it enough, it just gets in there.
yeah, for sure.
And this one again had some of those real standout lyrical gems for me. Just that simple phrase, "a human heart decays." There's just something about that caught me. And the seraph in the stairwell, that I just love that. That's and it, it's not so much like the alliteration or anything. It's the image, that it's creating in my head when I hear it. So touche, excellent lyrics.
It's interesting you talk about that, JJ, because you say when you hear something enough, like the scripture, you hear it enough times, and it gets in your head. I think Johnny does this a lot, where he'll mix something that's very sort of classical imagery with the real quotidian everyday life, and it shows you how these kind of archetypal kind of forms are just walking with you through the world, and the way this stuff is really next to you, even though it seems like it's far away or from another time period. I'm with you about those lyrical gems. Every time one of the song comes out, there was one that I just commented on just last night. It was from a couple days ago, that it opens with this line that you're like, that line's going to be stuck in my head as like a piece of literature now,
Yes. I mean, separate from a great, hook melodically or something, it's the words that
Yes.
really stuck with me. Exactly. And what's funny is what the last song we have here tonight, the Snakeskin, Johnny and I were talking, and it's like, no, it is not sacrilegious, because this is exactly what would really happen if that situation, if you ran into it. Yes, of course the guy would try to pick her up, So, yeah. I'm totally with you on that. Hello, Laurie.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Welcome, Laurie. What are you up to now?
I meant I was going to show him something privately, but I can show you.
Nothing good ever starts like that.
I know, right?
The pianist.
No,
segment.
I know the comments don't come in order, but it was right after you mentioned the cover of Scarlet Begonia. And I remember last week I was telling JJ in the green room that I want to do a Grateful Dead song with him, and I want to do Touch of Grey. And so we were, I think you started to talk about the video, and I said, I haven't seen the video in so long. So I went back to their video, and I'm like, oh yeah, there was skeleton.
Yeah,
so
they're like marionettes. Yeah.
So I said, we can do this. We can do this.
Oh, look at it. Yes.
So I'm thinking, that's really scary. I gotta try to make it do better, but this one's even better.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, great.
But I'm like, if I can get you to do this on Meta AI and I do it, and then I can get a program that animates us on stage. Well, we can do Touch of Grey all over again. I love my videos.
Yeah, but you know what covers I do best on the little screaming extra parts rather than
I
the verse
love
of the
your
chorus.
screaming extra parts, of course.
No.
Anyhow, I don't want to take over. Johnny and Isaiah, you guys are doing awesome. I love the fact that you're brothers and that you're on together, and your music's beautiful. It's finger picking good, Johnny.
Ooh, that's a good one. Good
Finger
one.
picking good. Yeah. And hi, everybody in the chat. Happy Monday.
You gotta trademark that.
Yes, you should.
Actually, that's used finger picking good by
Roy
a
Clark?
country artist.
Roy Clark?
Waylon Jennings? No.
Wait.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Colonel Sanders, but that's
No. No, it's actually a poster. I know in the studio where I go, when I have to go to the washroom, it's right there, finger picking.
Really?
That
And
sounds
don't you
like
have to
Willie.
watch them right after
And I
the show?
can't think. I've been there for 5 years. and
Willie? Is it Willie? It sounds like a
No.
Willie thing. No.
No.
I can see it being Roy
Oh.
or somebody in that era.
Yeah.
Picking and grinning. We'll Google it. We'll look it up.
I'll take a picture of it
Finger picking good.
after I wash my hands. All right. So I want to do a
Gross.
special two things I want to add here. Our friend Michelle Fretz, like I said, from Canada, she is here. Please follow her. She was really excited and that she finally got to make the show. So that's amazing. And TSL Costa. Yeah, I didn't want to really announce it until you're 100% sure. So it sounds like you're 100% in. We've got Costa on August 25th. So
Wow.
that's going to be fantastic. All right, okay, I'm going to continue with some of these shout-outs here. Amy Wallace, yes, Canadian, just from Northern Ontario here.
Ding.
And Artifacts. Ding. Yeah. Beautiful song called Goddess of Light. Please, please, please go check it out. Laurie and I had the privilege of doing a couple collabs with Amy, so it's pretty cool.
Yes.
All right.
Awesome.
Stick for Guns, 11 Drums, Harriet B. with a song called Lodestar. An amazing stuff. Live to Fly channel. The Way I Choose, the Bad Company cover. Russ 8889. Yes, I wanted to shout that out. Yes, DJ already told me, but I never listened. Music for Life announcement, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Melanie Coley with David Rodriguez, The Skeptics. That's Tremor Bear and Ian Luckett. In case you didn't know, two brilliant artists. Tremor Bear is going to be on the show next week, co-hosting KVK. And this track that they put together, they have a band called The Skeptics. And this track is called Candlelight. Melodic Mind, Memory Cafe. Now, this says 8/1/25. So if I guess I should know that that's August 1st, not January 8th. All right, cool. Masha.
You Canadian.
Masha, Masha's Groove, a brilliant artist I met through Laurie. Camp G May, Summerfest 2025. It was a hit. It was fantastic. I got really excited, but then I crashed. That was it. As soon as I ran out of firewood. And it's like, I'm not going to just stand there. All right, but it was a brilliant show, and I got to hear my man, Mr. Smith, play the Ninth Gate, a couple tracks. It was beautiful. All right,
So cool.
Prince Prodigal ends this with Run It Back. What were you going to say, Cuz?
No, it's just that it was a great show. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was there. I introduced
And you
Smitty.
were
It was
there.
awesome. Yeah,
Yes, co-hosting as well.
I co-hosted. Yeah, I crashed it. I can't stay up till 3 a.m. I was like, I mean, I can. It happens a lot, believe me. But I was going to the beach early the next day, so I had to get off.
Yeah, me too.
Woo.
So, Change the World, as you all know, there's so many tracks, so many covers already. I've got 21, I'm counting.
Nice.
And then there was 3 more this week. Feisty and Folk and Blues are a beautiful rendition of this. I just love it.
So cute.
What you're all doing with this. Yeah, that was just beautiful. Mark Wade and the Strutting Peacocks. Also, and then Leela last Friday. And I'm glad she told me, because you all know that's really late for me. So if I'm missing something that I should be watching, please, please, please reach out to me and let me know.
My
I
show?
went back and had a look. Yeah. The Leela Verse is her show. It's at 3:15 every Friday, 3:15 Eastern Time. I guess that's 12:15 Pacific Time, because I'm a mathematician, didn't you know? Change the World. She did an unofficial, she calls it unofficial mix of Change the World.
Live.
She's going to clean it up. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's
I
at
didn't
about
even
the
catch that.
Yeah, it's at
43.
like 11:49 or something.
Yeah.
It's towards the beginning of the show.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Please go check that out.
Lilies.
And wouldn't you love a Johnny Amish cover of that?
I was just thinking that.
Saying.
Just
The brothers, both.
Yeah.
Doc Amish.
And knock JJ and
Or
I
John
both
Flame.
The stems are there. And you don't have to use us people. You don't have to use JJ and myself on it. You
Just
can
mute
push
them.
us aside.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Just have
It's really
fun.
exciting to see all of these. All right. One more thing before we get into the reason why Laurie's here. Somebody screamed out pianist. Here comes Laurie.
You popped me on way too early, Frankie. You can keep me in the green room, you know. Go on.
Upcoming, we got Russ 8889 with Music for Life. They announced on Jade's show. No, it's on his show, Jade's show. I don't know. I'm not sure if it was Russ's show or Jade's show.
It was Jade. Yeah.
Jade.
Okay, yeah, no, I missed it.
Hi, James.
But the Music for Life, the American one is going to be up. They're just giving everybody a heads up to start working on something. If you want to submit, it's a lot of fun. And don't forget the Canadian for Childhood Cancer Canada is still out there. If you got a couple bucks, whatever you got, it's pay what you can. It's $1. It's $1. It's fine. Every little bit will help. Please go over to BANDCAMP and purchase one of these copies. If you don't have a BANDCAMP account and you don't want to purchase, I'm offering you, contact me. I will give you a digital copy of this. All right?
You can donate.
Sweet.
to it.
Yes.
And just in case people aren't familiar, this is not like an American artist album or
Right.
a Canadian artist album. It just happens to benefit a charity in those different places in the world. The one where submissions are due October 13th will be released on Thanksgiving night here, United States Thanksgiving. So whatever that is, late November. I can't remember the date this year of Thanksgiving. And that's when it'll be released. But the submission deadline to Russ is October 13th.
Excellent. Wow.
Yeah, I was on the Canadian album. I didn't wait for the American album. So.
Yeah, no. The Canadian has
And I'm American.
more American on it than Canadian, and it's okay. It doesn't matter what it, like JJ said. Yeah, I better start writing something. All right. Monday, I know. Monday, August 11th. What do we got? Oh, Clayton Von Kluge. That's next week, featuring Clayton Von Kluge. Yeah, it's going to be great with JJ hosting. I'm on holidays, so I'm going to miss the
So if the show somehow doesn't start, that explains there's
come on.
something.
You've got you and Laurie, or Laurie's.
I was going to say, I think JJ, you probably will do a good job. Yeah. I think you'll be
And we
fine.
did test tonight. I hit the go live button, so I know I can do that.
Ooh.
He was so excited. He
Look at
says,
you.
"Please, please, please, can I hit the button?"
It's exciting. I'll help you too. I told you I'd help you
Awesome.
if you need it.
That's cool.
But you're a
And
great
then the
interviewer.
18th, we
Know that.
have Robbie Stingle and Cubic Lover 1972. And then on August 25th, we got Costa. So it's
All
a
right.
great lineup. And we are booked right into September. I think I owe somebody an email. The Midnight Bandit. Yes.
Hi, Lainey.
And Ed Pettit's in there also, I believe, for September. So it's amazing. All right, I'm going to stop there. This is the pianist section.
Tickle, tickle.
JJ and I created this section because we were both in agreement that pianists and composers, it's the core of music. And I think a lot of kids today, if you ask them to pick up an instrument, the piano isn't going to be the first thing that comes to mind. They probably want that electric guitar, the drum kit. I was talking to a couple of people in the community when a couple of years ago, and I asked, why aren't you streaming anymore? And nobody's coming up to the shows. And I guess it's not just because of the piano. I don't think so. But when we started the Pulse, we had this segment in mind to feature the pianists within our community and abroad. And now it's growing and growing and growing. So I got to create a different type of
Frank.
montage. Oh, don't no!
JJ's having
You do it every week.
No.
Just keep going. Keep going. It's a growing and growing and growing. Yeah.
You have to put rated R if you say that so many times on the top.
Right?
Of the
Wow.
And your mom's watching. Hi, Mom. We're really nice people. It's Frank.
You know,
You
but
know,
do you
okay,
remember?
so I had no intention of delivering it for that purpose, but the way you just, yeah, it was you.
But do you remember the week we had? Was it the family band? The gentleman and his children. Jay.
Yep.
We were very, very well behaved. That
And
one.
you told us we didn't have to be.
Out of 75, we were very well behaved in that one.
So, Johnny, how does that make you feel that we're not
my
behaving like you here?
God, look, everybody's just demented. All right, so this is the pianist section. Please go offer up some support. Tonight we're featuring music by Piano Improv Vlog, which I'm gonna put her on the spot. Johnny said he's gonna have you up and he wants to co-host, and in the near future, so we're gonna have her up here.
Awesome.
So please go offer up some support to these amazing talented musicians. Stop it, Laurie.
So beautiful.
Amazing. Such a beautiful performance. Do I got everybody up there?
And we were talking, I think it might have been in the green room, that both of you guys first started learning piano as an entrance into music as a child.
Oh, really? You did?
Yep.
It's a great foundation. I wish I started on guitar. My sister had piano and I had guitar.
Yeah.
It changes the way that you, the sort of direction that you think of music. I still don't piano is really the only instrument that I still sort of play other than singing, and I don't understand the way that the guitar makes music. Music for me is like linear, like the piano goes, you know, not that sort of dimensional thing that the guitar does.
No, he says sort of play with the piano, but just so you know, you can go into his house and he's playing Chopin. So it's a little bit of a misnomer.
I'm an amateur.
But you know what gets me as a guitarist is there are the non-linear and more. To me, it's not even circular; it's like triangle on the guitar. But anyways, the reading of two staves at once, that blows my mind. How a piano player reads, the G clef and the bass clef at the same moment. That just blows my mind.
I know. I guess like the longer you do it, right, Isaiah, you just don't think about it. But it blows. I actually get verklempt thinking when my parents signed me up for piano lessons, I didn't want to do it, but I was only 7. But yeah, it takes a long time to get there. But, I am humbled to be amongst these pianists that you have in this whole segment because they're amazing.
Yeah, aren't they?
You absorb that knowledge a lot quicker when you're 6, 7. I played
probably,
and I didn't definitely retain it. I can sit down and play a piano. I can play in C minor, and you can think, if someone doesn't play piano, God knows what he's doing. But I still think of music in like Isaiah said, in the piano terms. Like if I'm figuring out a solo, not that I do a lot of that, but it's very. I think of it music more than the piano than the guitar still.
Wow. It's a great foundation. It's awesome. Yes. I wish I had it. So our next track we have here, Painting the Circles, is the track that features your brother singing on this. Mm-hmm. And right away, I told him, I said, I was listening to this and right away, okay, no, this is not your run-of-the-mill indie singer. This is somebody who's trained and practiced, and it will become very clear that not only do you sing opera, but you've written an opera, Isaiah?
What?
Yeah. Well, when I was in music school, I was interested in opera. We would go to the opera. We were studying opera music, but we didn't have an opera program at my music school. So I sort of wrote some operas, because this is what we were talking earlier about our mom and the creative lifestyle. There's this kind of way of approaching creativity, which is it's it's sort of invention is the mother or necessity is the mother of invention. It's kind of like, well, I needed this thing, so what was I going to do? I was just going to make one, so I just started making ones that was for my friends in school to sing. Oh, you'll sing this part, I'll write this part for you. And then I was like, oh, I quite like this. And so now I wrote a few operas in school, and then I wrote some for children when I was maybe 10 years ago, but I haven't been writing opera recently. But this in about a month, we're going to Berlin for a month. And this time I'll be writing the words for the opera, but like a sort of professional composer will be writing the music. I'm not going to be writing the music.
That's amazing.
What language are you writing the opera in?
English. I mean, everything I've written has been, we think of opera as maybe being more in Italian. There's lots of German and French opera too, but I think opera, there's an idea many people have in their head of it being very far away. And for me, it's kind of it's a very visceral thing. It's kind of you're always screaming literally. So for me, the closer that it can be to the actual experience that your body lives in, what the language that you speak, both physical and sort of words, I think the better.
Makes sense, yeah.
Wow.
Awesome. Wow. And I think, other than this one question I want to ask, because I said, remind me to ask this. So when you did this recording we're about to listen to, was there something in particular that sparked in you from the composition that maybe Johnny hadn't realized was there?
Yeah, well, often I'll be listening to, I listen to Johnny's songs usually as they come out. Sometimes there's a bit of a backlog. 2 or 3 I haven't listened to at once, but I'll be listening to them late at night, or I'll listen to them on my drives to walk my dogs or whatever. and I'll listen to them a number of times and try to really sort of let the layers of it soak through, because as you mentioned, there's the lyrical layer, there's the musical layer, there's the emotional layer, and of course they're all intertwined. But so I try to listen to a number of times in a row, and sometimes over the course of a few days I'll listen. And often as I'm doing this, especially when I'm driving, I'll hear the kind of because we always talk about how Johnny's like a harmony guy, like he hears in harmony, and I'm a melody guy because I'm a vocalist, and so I hear in melody. So often as I'm listening, the second or third or fourth time of these things, it's like and specifically with this song I felt this, that the harmonies kind of rose off it, like you can just hear the kind of harmonic series kind of rising off this. So in this one, the vocal melody that I did is quite different actually than the vocal melody that Johnny did, especially in the second verse. This is a kind of an opera thing too, especially Baroque opera, where you sort of hear the tune once, and then in the second time around you do all these kind of ornaments on top, we call it,
Right.
You layer the different, and so that one, in this one specifically, and I do this in many of the collaborations that we do, but in this one specifically, the melody really wanted you really wanted to manifest those harmonies in vocal lines that sort of rose off and sort of went in different directions from the original melody.
Very cool.
I think if you watch when the second time around comes, when Isaiah starts to sing that, you can see it physically hit me every time. And we played it probably, what do you say, maybe 10 times? I don't know how many times we did it, but every single time it hit me and I was very tired that day. We were both quite tired actually. And every time he started singing the ornaments on top of it, it really hit me physically, and a lot of the stuff that I write comes from conversations with Isaiah. Like we talk, and we talk in person. We also talk in YouTube comments. We also email. We WhatsApp. We're always talking, and a lot of the content comes from that as like a continuation of a conversation between us. So to hear Isaiah sing it is very natural to me. It doesn't even feel like a cover, because a lot of it is content that comes from stuff that I've engaged with him in.
Yes, and if I do put ornaments in, I never feel like I'm composing it or rewriting it. I always just feel like it's just further extrapolation of what's already there. I think, and you said this before, when I first sang one of your songs just a couple months ago was the first time. You said at the time, you were like, "Oh, it's like me singing it. It's like it's not surprising to hear you sing it. It's just like a different sort of facet."
And Johnny, I have to ask, I was trying to find the words to describe this song, and I think Isaiah's emotive vocals added to the depth of the sensation I was having. But this is like an honest elegy. What inspired this?
So this actually was and I write about this sometimes, and I just honestly struggle a lot with anxiety and depression, and this was a night when I was really feeling that quite heavily, and I've written in some other songs about specifically the dark cloud that comes over top of me, and kind of in one of my songs I wrote about going outside and it's bigger than the sky, and that was one of the images that I had in that, where it envelops everything, and so I'm playing guitar, and like my whole life is trying to get to the point where I'm playing guitar. If I'm honest, I'm trying to get through the day so I can get and play my guitar, and I feel this and so I'm playing and doing the thing I want to do. And then I get this feeling, and it starts to come over me, and I can't tell you why that day it came. It could have been a memory. It could have just been anything, really. I don't know. And I was just and often I would just put the guitar down. Honestly, sometimes I just cry a little bit, whatever you do when that happens. And I was like, you know what? Today I'm going to use this, and I'm going to make some art out of this, because I think this will help me to lift myself up, to put a ladder down for myself. So I started writing this song, and I often will record. If I do a verse and a chorus, I'll record them just so I don't lose the melody, just a little bit on my phone or whatever. And I couldn't get the verse down because I kept crying when I was trying to put it down. And it really just came, and it was so incredibly emotional for me. But then I was like, I've never had a moment before, and this is one of the reasons why I used it, apart from how incredible Isaiah's vocal on it, because it was using the very depths of that, and using art specifically to pull myself up from that.
Wow. You said something in there that I don't know if this is where it came from, but you were talking about it coming from this dark place, and with your brother singing and bringing a flame-like light out of it. Is that dark flame? Is that where that came from?
Whoa.
Actually, the reason that my name Dark Flame is kind of a joke. Actually, I was in a show once, and a reviewer wrote all the costumes were in white, and it was just all white costumes, so the set was white and everything. And the reviewer said, he was kind of going on and on. It was a bit embarrassing actually, and he said, he said, his hair is, it's like a dark flame against this, and so it's a bit of a joke, but there is something, it's a joke, but like many jokes, the best jokes, there's something kind of true about it,
You bring
and when Isaiah first came on, I was like, yeah. When Isaiah first came on, he was like, "What do you want to be?" And like I kind of jokingly said "Dark Flame" because this has been a joke ever since it happened. And he was like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "It's perfect." So
It's a great name.
Yes, you are the flame in the darkness, the light in the darkness. And with that,
Eat Misa.
here's your cue. With that, painting the circles.
All right.
I've been painting circles with every color but mine. The brush strokes are broad and uneven, darker than a starless sky. But it doesn't matter now. All these thoughts keep rushing round and round. Is there a reason to go on? Is there a place where I belong, where I belong? I've been chasing evening, looking for somewhere to hide, but the moon is much less forgiving when it's hanging in an empty sky. But it doesn't matter now. All these thoughts keep rushing round and round. Is there a reason to go on? Is there a place where I belong, where I belong? Is there a reason to go on? Is there a place where I belong?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's every song has ended with me going wow, but that's the most natural reaction I have is to exhale and say wow.
I get comments all the time when I post videos with Isaiah where people say that the voice, it's incredible, and I say I still feel that same way. I first heard Isaiah sing, like I told you, in the I hope you don't mind me telling this, Isaiah. He was the teen angel in Greece, and he was 16 years old in high school, and I went to see him sing, and I'd never really heard him sing before, and I was just like, he came out in the Elvis costume, like the ridiculous stuff they make you wear in that, and I was just like, holy fuck, like it just absolutely, and that was 25 years ago almost, and still every time it still gets me, and to hear him sing my music is really like incredible for me every time, just like, and he's sung so many of my songs now, and I can never ever, and actually that might be the reason why we don't sing harmonies. I just want to listen to him sing something else.
Yeah. Your head, with your eyes closed, when he's doing the ornamentations, your head is moving like a leaf in a breeze on his ornamentations being the breeze. You can see that it just is a connection from his voice right into your heart.
I have to say that I kind of mentioned this to you guys backstage, but because being a musician for your job, and especially in classical music, it's very, it's an intense life. I mean, being a musician is intense anyway. Being a person's intense, but playing with Johnny has been so healing, and this whole community, actually, I can't say it enough, and I say this all the time, but because my relationship with music hasn't always been positive, like it hasn't always been sort of healthy and life-giving. It's been something that's sometimes you feel something's being taken from you that you didn't offer, and that whenever Johnny comes over and we do the songs or do one of his songs or doing something, a cover from someone from the community, Catherine or Tom, or I always feel like I come away and I understand in a new way something about music that I didn't understand when I was first in it. I mean, people talk about how music is so, it's good for the heart and all this kind of stuff, and it's for so many years it's been a stressor for me. And to actually hear, and I don't hear when you talk about my singing, I don't honestly hear what people talk about. I don't hear the beauty. I just hear the mistakes, And so being able to get this from the community and being able to just do this with Johnny for me has been really healing. And I don't say that lightly. So
that's awesome. That is awesome. And Johnny, this was the song that it really stood out, but the ending beat of each bar of your chord progression, you had what I was calling a finger sweep. I love that sound. It's
that brum bum ba that
yes. Just love that, and that playing like you do without a pick gives you the ability to do stuff like that more easily. But I love that. And once I heard it a bit, but then this song just had it, ending that progression each time, and so sweet. But
with this guitar, this guitar is my Taylor started playing again. I started working from home a few years ago, started the channel, and I bought the Taylor, and I kind of joked that my soul's in that guitar because it was like what got me back into playing after not playing very much for about 5 years after a bad experience with a band. And then I bought the guitar, and it was the first real instrument, I'd bought in my life. I'd always bought cheap guitars just because that's what I could afford. And I finally could afford a nice acoustic, and just being oh, this is why people buy a nicer instrument, because, it just elevates, it's easier, and it really changed. So playing that song on that guitar, I think was another for me.
I hope you moved your small Martin out of the room when you just said that, so you didn't offend her.
All right. It's all right.
Your soul is in the Taylor, but your heart is in the Martin there. Do you have any more shout outs, Frank?
Yes. All right. We've got the upcomings. Let me go back to Doing for Others. We got Leni Perez, Read Between the Lines, Rebel Rocker, DJ Big Red, Crimson Crux, Mike and Don, and D. Lynn. These artists, especially D. Lynn and DJ Big Red, do so much for so many artists, share their music. I know at least once a week minimum I'm going to get an email from D. Lynn suggesting this artist or to have a listen to this artist. It's just beautiful. And as Isaiah was saying, just that this community is just so full of gratitude, warmth, kindness. There's no other place I'd rather be. All right, Javel mentions just these. Yeah, I might as well finish off this. So Fridays is just the wackiest days, and to those of you who are new or are going to watch us on replay, Friday nights, please follow us on this one, and you must go to see Mr. Smith with Valerie Bott at 8 o'clock on Friday. Please do that for me. Friday mornings, it starts off like 7 o'clock in the morning with Javel DePutzis. She's got a great little show. 1 o'clock, we got Dan Anderson. Then Valerie Bott comes on at 2 o'clock with their Friday night song club. Charlie Gabaldon follows her at around 3, 4 o'clock. And then Mr. Smith kicks off an evening of madness from, again, 8:30 p.m. Mr. Smith is on. Then it goes into Pole Vault and Sunshine Archer at 10, as well as Freedom Redbird is also on at 10. Two great shows. And then we go into Laurie's Mishmosh Friday evening at 12 a.m. She kicks off another part of the show where it swings into the West Coast. Gary Hubbs follows her with the Parking Lot Warrior. Yes, did I mention he's Canadian and he's part of my band, Ninth Gate, our band. Yes. And then Leelaverse, the Midnight Chill, 3:15 a.m. So Friday night is just a madhouse. And speaking of house, we got the Nut House, Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Please go check out the Nut House, another great show. As I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show, when I saw Niels Han Dynasty, and please go check out that channel as well as SE Wolverine. A lot of amazing, interesting content coming out of that channel. Yeah, and if you love cats, you want to go to that channel as well. Miss High and Pendar, two great talents. Ali Patches, Into the Night with Ali and Wes. Westby and Rich New Designs. Please go follow these artists, content creators. And I got to get myself up there on Saturday and play something. I think my hands are doing much better. Chris Lane Sr. With Dom Torgrosa every Thursday night. Oh, Chris, man, I forgot. I really wanted to do that, cut that clip of that short you did with Laurie. And she's talking to, jeez, I'm so technically challenged, with Siri. And then she tells Siri to shut off some certain things she was running in the background, and then the whole show just shut down. It was quite funny. Anyways, please go check that out. It was really cool. Camp G May, once again, every Saturday night, he has the open mic, and he's responsible for these big fests that follow it after. Axe and Nacho, yes, Canadian. They'll be on tonight at 11 p.m. and Wednesday nights at 11. You can jump on and join them. Two amazing talents. Please go check it out. And right after this show, it'll be Vince Janella, and you'll be dumped. Oh, I don't even know if I have the dump set. Probably not. All right, the Mix Club, Rhett, that was on the show last week. Michael Songs every Sunday at 12 p.m. Please go check out Michael. Now we have our very own real Justine Kasprick. And here we go again. She has a nice little show now every Sunday at 4 p.m. Amazing stuff, Justine. Scotty Butters live Tuesday, and David Joshua live Sunday evenings. I believe he'll be up and running this coming Sunday, if I read the notes correctly. And that's it. You all rock. This community is beautiful. We celebrate one another's music, and yeah, really cool. Blessed to be part of it.
We've got to get you a bell though, Frank. There's a show out of Chicago, radio show called Sound Opinions, and every time they're talking about music and they mention Brian Eno, they've got a bell and they ring the bell. So yeah, you've got one for every time it's a Canadian. But we're on our last track of the night of yours, and this one is very cool. Snakeskin boots. And so this is where the idea of making a bowl out of an apple came from.
My lawyers have advised me not to. So I really want to say with this that it isn't meant to be disrespectful. It's a little iconoclastic, and I actually wasn't gonna post it. I wrote it, and I had a lot of fun writing it because it's really fun to kind of play around with the imagery. And I wasn't, until I thought of the idea of doing the video, I wasn't gonna post it because I worry. I have a lot of subscribers and friends on here who have faith, and I really respect that. I respect belief. I respect faith. It's a really important thing to me, but I ultimately decided I don't think it's what I have to say, and I don't think that it's not meant to be disrespectful. I hope no one sees it that way. It's really, and like you said, I really like that too. Like it really would have been, we tend to, these figures, you know, these biblical figures or even a mythical figure or whatever, you tend to build them up to be almost godlike in a way. But a human is a human, and a human has foibles and our memory is always fallible, you know, like, and so the way that we process the world, and it's always been that same way. So taking those characters and putting them into a different situation. And I will also say, this is kind of based on a joke that I had with my friends when I was in my 20s. And it was a bunch of former fundamentals. And we kind of had this joke where the tree of the knowledge, the same kind of people who would think that South Park was funny at midnight. Let's just put it that way. If you want to, like, this is so profound, man. You know, like, but we had the joke that the tree of the knowledge of good and evil wasn't an apple or whatever you want to say, but was a weed plant. Because, you know, like I've once again, my lawyers, I've heard that that like when you smoke weed, like you really think deep thoughts, right? And then you maybe write those down, and the next day you'll be like, wow, that was not in fact deep at all, but like maybe that would transfer over. So I was kind of playing off that a little bit as well. And also sorry, I don't need to carry on, but I also think that Eve has always kind of got a bad rap in that, where it's like, okay, Eve, the mother of everything, but yet she's the one who led Adam. You know, she was like, here, smoke this joint, and he was like, well, you know, I don't really want to. Like, no, screw that. So anyway, that's part of it too, is just feeling like there's a bit of misogyny that's kind of written into that story, the way that it's perceived. So I wanted to play with that as well.
I love it. It's great. I'm a person of faith, red letter Christian, and I'm like, oh, of course this is what happened.
Just the way it goes. People are people.
Exactly. Especially if they're naked. Come on. Snakeskin boots.
Give it a spin. Oh.
Just beyond the gates of Eden, I ran into Eve in her snakeskin boots and her polyester suit, smoking a bowl of weed, smoking a bowl of weed. Hey there, baby, said Adam, how about you and me? Before you flirt, you should put on a shirt, was all he could get from me, all he could get from me. if I believe everything I read, I'm crawling around on my hands and knees with a broken back from carrying the weight of all this original sin. I called my buddy Noah to build me a new countertop. He said, you never paid me for the cabinet doors. This rain ain't gonna stop. This rain ain't gonna stop. I can hear old man Elisha yelling, give me back my hat. Now he's calling the bears to appear in pairs, but Noah's got him up on every ride. Noah's got him up on every ride. If I believe everything I read, I'm crawling around on my hands and knees with a broken back from carrying the weight of all this original sin. I was heading back to Eden when I ran into Eve in her snakeskin boots and her polyester suit. She packed me a bowl of weed, packed me a bowl of weed.
Amen.
Wow.
So cool.
I love that one.
Genius. And you know, we were talking about not wanting this to seem sacrilegious or disrespectful. And one, somebody couldn't write those lyrics unless they had read the scriptures. You know, that's you got some details in there that obviously you've read them. And the Old Testament is why I follow Jesus. You know, there's so much stuff in the Old Testament that can burden and break your back that you need a Messiah to carry you. And so to me, it's confirming rather than disrespectful.
And you know, JJ, there's a song that kind of, with the 4 songs, there was one that kind of missed the cut. I wrote a song called In Vain, which I kind of wanted to shout out just a little bit, so I hope that's okay.
Yeah.
I wrote a song, and it was kind of in the way I was just quite angry one day, thinking about the way, like if you read the words of Jesus, the words in red, you know, in the old Gideon Bibles or whatever,
Yep.
like you live your life in a really community focused, love focused way, and I really get upset when I see like the brand, and for sake of a better word, American Christianity. It's not specific to America only, but really there is a brand of it that really distorts those prosperity gospel and that kind of stuff, that really distorts that in a way and is more predatory. And it's really against those words that I read and loved as a child, and really that gave me a lot of strength as a child. And so I wrote this song called In Vain using that. And my friend David Stewart, who is on YouTube, he asked a lot of people to cover it, and it did get covered a bunch of times. And it really was powerful to me that people connected with that feeling of when you're using the name of the Lord to, sorry, getting a little bit emotional here, but when you're using the name of the Lord to oppress people and to push people down and to build up your own wallet, that's taking it in vain, you know, that is. And so that's what the song was about. And in fact, the way the community engaged with that really was hope, gave me a lot of hope. And it was one of the real things that brought me into this thinking, this community is good, you know, this community is really a strong and thoughtful community. And So I wanted to shout out David at some point for doing that, because he's you played the song that you played of mine. You opened the show a few weeks ago with a song of mine, and David wrote the words for that. He emailed me this poem that he had written in the 90s for his wife, and very beautiful. And he emailed it to me and was like, "Do you think you could maybe do something with this, like even just use part of it or something?" And I came down here, picked up my guitar, and played 3 chords, and the whole song. It was really, it's a beautiful, beautiful words, and those words where you read them, and then the music just comes up out of them. It's incredible to do that. So, yeah, I that really, for the community, that was really a thing for me that really galvanized like how great this community is, and I could never shout out all the people who have been so incredibly welcoming to me coming into this community, into the what you said, the smaller community with Tom and Catherine and all those people, and then the bigger community through you that I've met here. So, and if I were to try to shout them out, I would forget someone and I would feel really terrible. But it's really been so amazing for me.
It's a model of what the world can really be.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I want to say that I am so grateful to have met both of you. I'm grateful to D. Lynn, who introduced us.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. And how fortunate, JJ, I'll let him speak on for himself, but how fortunate we are to sit here with somebody who thinks alike. Like, community is everything to us. And I'm, like I said, I'm so glad that you accepted this invitation. It was great meeting you both. The chat was lit up tonight, and it's I'm looking forward to maybe even working together with you, and but definitely listening to a lot of your music. Moving forward.
Well, it's been such an absolute pleasure to come on here. So I didn't mean to cut you off, JJ. When I met you guys yesterday, like there was the 2 of us and DJ, and I just, or the 3 of you and DJ, whatever. Sorry, Summerlin. I was so like, that was so amazing to me. Like I was buzzing for hours after that, because I saw, I kind of introduced when you did the show with Catherine, which was amazing, and Tom, and I saw like the way that you interacted, and JJ, the way that you are excited about someone else's music, to me, I think was the reason where I was like, that enthusiasm to me is like, I'm not a cool person, like cool, chill. That's not who I am. And, like, I hope you don't mind me saying, but that's not the way you come across. You come across with enthusiasm, which to me is everything. I love that. Like, it's all about the passion, that's what I want when I meet someone. Like, what makes you tick? What's the passion that you have? And I saw that passion that you had for other people's music. And to me, that was like, yeah, well, I love that. And it's crazy because your music is amazing. And the same with you, Frank. You guys are both incredibly gifted people. I watching you play that song at the beginning, Frank, like on that Martin, I get a little hung up on the guitars too, but I know that's a meaningful guitar to you too. You told me that yesterday, and that was really beautiful. I know, I can see why JJ picked it. And JJ, I went and listened to a couple of your songs, and that Empty Jars, wow, like that's really, it spoke to me as well. In the content of the song spoke to me as well. So that's why I kind of was like, can I have JJ? Because I really love the way that you two interact. There's a lot of love there too. So.
Awesome. Thank you. That's what we try to do. So I'm glad that it comes through. And it's so cool, that Isaiah, you've been here as a emotional pillar behind it, having some significant part in the music, and knowing from what Catherine wrote in her descriptions and what your brother said, that you are another one of these people out there who love and support the people who are creating, for the fact that they're creating and doing it. So you've got quite a powerful influence.
Thanks, guys. It's really being involved in any capacity, whether it's just commenting and listening or any kind of creative element, is really sort of changing me sort of from body up. So, yeah.
Awesome. And, we talk about changing the world for the better, one note at a time. And for the next probably about 18 weeks, we'll be closing the show with a different version of Change the World.
Oh, nice.
And I really have to say something about tonight's. Was there something else you were going to say before we do that, Frank?
No.
I really, really enjoyed seeing what Russ did. You know, when we put this out, and like we said, change anything, you know, don't use any of us. Russ, in his video and what he was thinking when he did his mix, he changed the context of changing the world, an environmental viewpoint. So excellent. It's just so cool how this little simple little song has been like a living organism and just grows.
Beautiful. Yeah. So we're going to close it off, as JJ said. I think there's 25 renditions of Change the World. This one is really cool, by Russ 8889. And thank you to the wonderful mods tonight, especially DJ Big Red, for all the work you do backstage. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Justine, for sharing out the links for the featured artist. Love you all. Thank you all for coming out. I appreciate the support. And we'll see you on YouTube. We're going to close out with Change the World, Russ 8889. Thank you.
Stay kind and creative, everyone. Great to meet you guys.